Okay, I'll go in like 20. Oh.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Welcome back, everyone. Here we are with your Epic League coverage of the closed qualifiers for Europe and CIS as we're into the final stage of this playoff. Into the second place decider round with Just Error taking on Yellow Submarine. Best of 5, and it's all tied up 1 apiece between these two squads. Joined yet again by Peksu as the draft just about to kick off here. Mars banned, Phoenix gone, and a first pick Spectre yet again.
Team pick.
I don't think it's bad about that.
10 seconds remaining.
One thing they can think about better is that how can they make that
5 seconds
lane stage
remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant
Winter Wyvern.
Wyvern. Lane stage is
Life Stealer.
Wyvern obviously very good against IO.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, just put the curse on the IO, and whoever's partnered with is going to start whacking him, right?
Yeah, if you can. I mean, the thing is that nowadays I think kinda know and understanding that is gonna happen, so they try to play around it.
Remaining.
Won't be so easy, I would say.
Radiant
There will be
team
fight
back.
probably
Dire
that
team
all will
back.
be up. But even with that, it's still just not the threat even having that. They can't play like carry now. Yeah, they go for a different thing. Go for a life stealer.
10 seconds remaining.
Slaughter or the. I don't think
5
life stealer.
seconds remaining.
That like you're already into a Wyvern.
Radiant
Wyvern
team
itself
ban.
quite nice. You have a spell that goes through your rage, and just the heal. As well, life stealer with IO, but it's not as good like Slaughter or Ven that they had in the last.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm a bit surprised by
Dire
this life.
team ban.
Yeah.
They have some idea behind.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like the matchup with Spectre as well. Like, she often buys, armor, agi items, very tanky with dispersion. She also, racks up a lot of HP as she's buying those stats items.
10 seconds.
I'm just wondering if it's maybe more about the tempo. Like, we had the Sven picked into the Spectre because he can farm fast and you get to the point where he's ready to fight much quicker. Lifesteal is a similar thing. It's like, armlet, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's find some battle somewhere. And I guess they don't have to ban, they don't have to worry about the Pugna, Veno, this toxic kind of stuff that's kiting you and slowing you as much when you've got Lifestealer who can kind of pop rage and keep running forward. Something he really struggled with last game was getting hit by Venomous Gale, getting tagged by Skadi, Shiver's Guard, Blink, War Stomp, Infernal Blade from Doom, all of these little things. Added, they still won in the end, but it was an annoyance for sure.
A lot of in a way though, that's one thing. I see
Dire team pick.
rage that you have,
Radiant
so you
team pick.
Enchantress.
sure if the Spectre gets some farm as well. You
Still going Ench, yeah. Ench IO, bit of an interesting support pairing. Not offering team fight or stuns or anything like that. It is just lane, again, Yellow Submarine focused on lane control, sustaining their cores. Can stick around and fight. Hello, that's a big boy we've not seen in a long time.
going
10 seconds
for
remaining.
this team fighting type of style when Yellow Submarine is lanes
5
and
seconds
dominating.
remaining.
there. Here obviously helps a lot. Quite really on. There should be for Shaker to find. Can work with after us. We'll get to start on this slide. Already off to a good laning. There's already very different drafts here. We have one draft that is very based on team fighting, and one draft that is very like close on this winning the lanes and then running and punishing the long cooldown. That's a good Viper pick though.
Yeah, it sure is. You know, ties in, synchronizes pretty well item build wise with Lifestealer for that early grouping up and fighting. Deals with Spectre with that Nether Toxin super well.
10 seconds
Spectre really
remaining.
well. Both Winter Viper and Earthshaker don't really
5
go necessarily
seconds
going for the
remaining.
Viper. If it's Viper as Viper, then you pay too much attention to him. You're countering your Spectre. Play the offload. Viper pick can have really. I am a bit still scared for them. Yellow Submarine, they have been doing really good balance, and if but if they ever like do some grab or some laning, can really. Like I said, they are lacking team fight really. They are
10
like
seconds
100%.
remaining.
They don't win their lanes, they're gonna have some big.
5
Yeah, especially when you're against such a an experienced team like the players on Just Era. We've seen them already in the past 2 games, but we also saw a similar thing when Yellow Submarine went up against Mud Golems. Was the kind of overall, we talk about map control very generally, often talking about individual towers and controlling Roshan, for example. But the kind of ebb and flow of the lanes and the way that Mud Golems and Just Era are very good at finding places to kind of carve the map in half, take areas away from their opponents, and setting up fights. I always prefer to have that kind of team with a team fight lineup because they know that when they do fight, when they choose that moment to actually go and commit for something, they're going to do very well. And you're talking about the lanes. If they break down for Yellow Submarine, that mid game is going to be rough for them. But trying to control the map with these kind of heroes, you're relying on relocate to move out across to get involved in team fights that are going to kick off so quickly with Blink Echo, with Winter's Curse. It happens at the drop of a hat.
The problem with a yellow draft, but I have really strong. But the problem is that it kind of take up.
10 seconds remaining.
Way it's kind of the Enchantress.
5 seconds remaining.
That's what I'm like seeing a problem, that even though if they win, can they still take that tier 1 tower fast in the. Seen the issue of all of these games. Just Error just has brought those heroes there and made sure that tower keeps alive, because important for the game. Close the map. It's the kind of same issue, but yeah, we'll take the tier 1 mid, tier 1 bottom. Don't take some kind of push here. Let's be here. But at the same time, I feel like they need some kind of hero that helps them catch game, starting the fight, because right now they have no.
And it's kind of hard looking at this. I'm thinking Yellow Submarine's probably aiming towards Storm Spirit, but I noticed now the Broodmother's left in the pool, like Just Era Bandit in a couple of the previous games. But I don't think Yellow Submarine could pick a Brood, into Pugna, Earthshaker, Winter Wyvern. There's a fair number of ways to deal with her as that kind of cheesy push hero that could allow them to snowball even further out of lane. So I think Just Era have set up their draft really nicely here. Not only building up their own 5-hero lineup with a Pango rounding it out, even more team fight and chase potential coming out from them.
But like Death Prophet,
10 seconds
Silence,
remaining.
Pugna, Wyvern, Pango really good. Vector as
5
well.
seconds
Sure,
remaining.
it doesn't give you but like it gives you that kind of early fighting, but that is something that I'm
Yeah, not much time left. Options it's pretty difficult here. Like, so Pango last pick is still flexible as well, right? We could have the 3 Pugna or the 3 Pango. Like, you're not sure what the lane matchup's going to be. It's very difficult.
Like they can do. Here even Shaker.
Now select your heroes.
That helps a little. Catch game. Left a little. Laning. Play fast. All the tempo. Just Error can kind of do it. Practice game. I feel like. I don't see, for example, top lane at all. And then at the bottom lane as well, Viper. Both side lanes in favor of yellow. Just Error doesn't, by the looks of it, yellow suffering start for the laning.
Yeah, like maybe Earthshaker can do some, you know, Fisher blocks or something to give no one a bit of a better time. Winter Wyvern Spectre is a lane duo. Like Wyvern, Arctic Burn, such a long cooldown. You don't want to be like leveling up Cold Embrace too early on, but he, you know, might have to just to keep Ramses alive and sustained in that lane. Do you think? So when we see position 3 Viper and position 1 Spectre, very often we see this kind of lane swap start early on. Do you think both teams are going to smoke and move out quickly to try and get that information early on?
Probably that, like, even wants to like Viper in Pagina, but they don't really want to. So that's the thing. Problem for in draft of.
There's no good way to match up against the Viper, yeah.
Yeah, there's no good way of matching the Viper. Not only that, there's also the Ench is very strong. It's very strong, so kind of owns either.
Prepare
They
for
could
battle.
try lane if they want, but I doubt they want.
Get out into lanes, see what happens. Looks like Just Error putting the Ramses Spectre bottom for now. Sumail mid on that Pugna. Very speedily getting out for his first Observer Ward of the game. Pango with a solo Wyvern and Zayat. Earthshaker up towards top for now, and it's going to be Yatoro. That Lifestealer, Miposhka Enchantress. Toronto, Tokyo, your Ember Spirit in the mid lane. And Io Viper. So bad and Collapse pairing up with a Pumpkin Viper. Damn that. that is the stupidest looking thing. Viper with a pumpkin head.
30 seconds to
I just zoomed in on his face. Oh my goodness. Thanks. Thanks Valve. Thanks Gaben. Beautiful stuff. Top lane. Miposhka getting jumped on immediately. Arctic Burn slowing him in a good Fisher block. Make sure that no one can keep tagging him with the right clicks, but a cut through the trees. Very smart maneuver there from the Enchantress. Might just allow Yatoro here to go and deal one of these bounty runes.
The battle begins.
Zayats takes it. So 2 for 2 across the map. As Spectre tried to go for a sneaky steal down bottom, but So Bad and Collapse were both there, ready and waiting for him. Mid lane Ember against Pugna. I'm kind of interested to see how this lane goes.
Pugna favored. I don't think. I think most of these Ember players nowadays, if it, they have been able.
You are too
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think either. I think what Sumail can pressure tower pretty well, but at the same.
Denied.
Yeah, I guess you also have that kind of level 6 marker as well. Like, Pugner's pressuring, but then when number hits 6, there is that kill threat from Remnants. Top lane, Zayat's going to drag the wave to try and get his level 2. Miposhka chases him back, leaving Pango in a 1v1 against Lifestealer, which no one looks like he's winning. With that disarm from Lucky Shot.
Denied.
The Ainge thing way gets too deep.
Yeah. Zayats with only 1 CS. Great play there by the Enchantress. Back down to bottom. Looks like a pull across there is being contested by Ramses. Trying to dagger his way through the creep wave. Collapse and so bad. We're laying it on pretty thick. Keeping themselves topped up with Headdress, Tether. And now, of course, Poison Attack paired with Nether Toxin, giving you even more magic damage. Spectre's 12-0 though. I mean, that's a couple of neutral creeps, but still looking reasonably comfortable so far in the laning stage. But things get much worse when Viper hits level 3. Forcing an early salve as well. It's like no one sitting at 3 CS. I thought he was having a decent time up here, but struggling to last hit up against the Lifestealer. Fisher block. Not going to do a whole lot. Zayas gets tagged by the open wounds, and Yatoro just going to start munching on him. Top lane's becoming a big problem here for Just Error. But we knew that, or at least you called it, that the laning stage for Yellow Submarine looked like it was going to be incredibly potent.
That then but I still think
Don't think so.
if laning stage is going, it's gonna get harder and harder. Just Error here. Gonna be a lot on this house if you get some kind of rune, you help those sidelines, then it's already see that Pango for X.
Dire are scanning.
Where are you going?
Yeah, they know that
He might die and yeah.
he's got a Fairy Fire, but you're right, no Swashbuckle. He's like 40 mana away from it. So First Blood is going to come slowly but surely as they do rip him apart. And Yatoro claiming that kill onto no one. Yeah, Io trying bottom. Pugner versus Ember Spirit up top. And it looks like...
He didn't take that. Well, oh
Wait.
my god.
Did I do that?
Whoa.
Toronto Tokyo.
Huh.
Yeah, I guess he thought he was like sitting on it, maybe he didn't clip.
He didn't...
Radiant structures.
I mean, I did the same thing. There's a kill on Io there. I was looking top, and I thought, oh, they didn't get a rune top, so it must be... I then went to look bottom. There's no rune bottom. Then I started wondering, did someone deny the rune? And then you come out and say they just didn't take it. Toronto Tokyo is now being blasted, and he's 1 hit away from death, but the salve is there as Miposhka's rotation. Will bully Sumail back. Come in. Cancel the salve as Collapse dies to Solo and Ramses down bottom lane. Wyvern and Spectre killing off a Viper.
Definitely doing better on this lane that they shoot. Good job from them. A lot of good things happening for Terror. That guy mid. And then also
Gotcha.
the bottom as well. It all leads that to that so bad was
School.
then he died there and we're able to use that time to kill him. Now Solo is... Yeah, I feel like every time somebody's gonna be... I don't think that's the way this kill happens. It was a good heads up play from Ramses and Solo. That play dead so they can... Now again, if just stay in this lane, unless they bring like a third...
Yeah, they need a lot of resources to do that.
Ramses is getting quite harassed here. Might...
Oh, with that urn charge and the poison attack. Oh, it's back to Fountain, barely.
He didn't throw a Nether Toxin. Died to that. Well, still forcing him out of there is... gonna have to run again.
Interesting double ward here from Just Error. Both of them in towards that bottom rune spot. One on their high ground, one on the enemy high ground. Watching for wherever the Ember Spirit transitions into this jungle. They do bring Pugna bottom. Viper has a TP. Yeah, he just immediately says, screw it, I am out of here. But the fish from Zayats catches him. So the way out isn't as easy as the Viper once thought. And with Solo arriving there to help Zayats secure the kill, they do find that Viper.
You have been denied.
And instead of
The rune of illusion.
go for middle farm there. Better lane for him.
Well, he's done a good amount of damage to Toronto Tokyo under that tower.
Probably the best lane to wanna be against that Viper, and Ember pressure you. He can pressure you that hard under the tower, like.
Now then he can go and farm some jungle camps once he's pushed out these waves. Nice place to be in. Lifestealer though has forced the Pango out of lane. No one catching up a little bit now. 23 CS, not looking as bad as he was previously, but it's still not an ideal situation for him. Level 6 is really what he's aiming for there. That first Rolling Thunder from the Pangolier is really pivotal in terms of where your game's heading. Crack 6 in about a creep. But he's already TP top, so you won't have that reaction potential from the Pangolier to actually come into a team fight. And for now, they're keeping Pugna down bottom. Sumail just waiting around there. So Spectre is sat mid. Haunt ready soon. Just one creep away. It feels like that's a timing there. Solo getting chased by Collapse and Miposhka. They turn back with a decrep. Nice Fisher there. And with a life drain, they're going to find the Enchantress. Yet again, Yellow Submarine coming in with aggression, but met in kind by this Zero Error side. Well, Sumail, the poison attacks, they are annoying, but he's got Fairy Fire, now a life drain if he wants to go in for this. He actually gets the decrep and the blast onto the Viper. But the follow-through damage, not quite enough, and they can't control them up through that sustain of So Bad with a Salve and a Clarity running on the IO.
Same thing again, but they're just making sure that power doesn't. It's kind of playing against the way that Yellow's
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
bring this number. However, Yatoro is adapting to the situation, and he's actually pressuring this team top tower. This is a really nice. Bring 4 heroes. And now that forces stop, so now they can make a bottom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice TP though. Nothing to stop it, and he's in the fountain. Bottle charges. Oh, close to death, but he does survive. But yeah, you're right. The fact
really
that like Pango wanted to come bot with Rolling Thunder to fight, right? And then he has to go top now. Rolling Thunder is still not being utilized really.
Have TP now. Now what they can do again is that now they can start pressure the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Ember Spirit comes in, trying to defend his own tower mid. Level 4 Flame Guards ready with a couple of 1 charges.
Radiant's bottom tower
Zayats
is under attack.
sitting off to the right-hand side. He's halfway to blink on this Earthshaker, but still not level 6, so no Echo Slam.
Are fortified.
They spotted out Miposhka. He's got a good ward there, but it's been seen. And the Enchantress is going to have to sproink away because the rest of coming for him. Top tier 1.
Radiant's
Denied by no one. Look at that. Fake pumps on the Rolling Thunder. Gets the deny on the tower. Very nicely done. They find the Ember Spirit. Chain stun him. Toronto Tokyo doesn't have a remnant. Sumail just needs to close the gap here with a decrep and the life drain. He's going to try and go for the blast, and that stun from Zayat secures the kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Maybe
attack.
even pressure than mid. Tower, it does look like,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
but the Zero is ready to take this fight. They have all their spells.
He walks straight in, echoes up onto the Viper. Spectral Horn also arriving, focusing onto the IO in the back as no one rolls into the middle of both of them. The Nether Toxin's doing a decent amount, but so bad and collapse. Falling apart. As that reaction, impetus shot, Zayas, he survives through it. Now Miposhka trying to go for the TP out, and he stuns as the Winter's Curse that they require. Stop her in her tracks. 3 kills and defending that tier 1 tower, and it's something that's become a common storyline here in this series. Against Yellow Submarine, you defend your safe lane tier 1 with everything you've got.
Kind of like said, it's like the lanes are standing where to be, on bringing this 3 to 4 here. Towers alive. Yatoro has a really good. This armored, I think he
Dire are scanning.
helped them because definitely not in. Their lineup is all about this lane stuff and rolling on. Oh, fine, but it's like.
They didn't
Just
stomp it.
Yeah, and now it's like it's gonna be kind of like slow game from here. Vector's
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
now you have to
bottom
remove
tower
this is
is
what they
Yeah, take the tier 1.
pressure up.
The thing is, I've just realized that the Dire team don't really have any stuns. So we've seen a couple of times now, the counter to Yellow Submarine is just to TP out. Solo doesn't have a TP right now, but he's managed to find himself a hole in the trees. But what you've got Searing Chains and maybe an Ench creep?
It's very little what they have.
No one. He's going for this. A Rolling Thunder connecting a couple of times. The IO heal nowhere near enough, and now a TP out. Look at that. He goes in, gets a kill, and there's nothing to stop it.
Yeah. There's Road of Ages. Way or develops his turn. Wild.
Radiant structures are fortified.
In this where he has to make a lot of space for pressure these towers, and in general, like team at least so out on this kind of space for his team, where he's been a lot of really nice what he's.
Zayat showing off his blink there to defend his career.
That's the old.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yatoro is farming really well. I'm just one lifestealer.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Ember has a decent
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh. Deal with the Pugner, I guess?
game. You can here you could also, but it's like an answer to the Winter Wyvern. Go on him, kind of kill him. But it is while he wants.
He's role-playing as Storm Spirit while playing Ember. Going for that Orchid Rush.
Dire's top tower.
Well, top tier 1 for Sumail, easy as you like. Finishes that off and, of course, heads into the Glimmer Cape as the tier 1 mid is claimed by Yellow Submarine. IO just sticking with the Lifestealer, keeping him safe and sound. As 4-4 do come into mid, you know, they're ready with Blink Echo, they've got Rolling Thunder. No one with a Maelstrom. So a bit of a deviation away here for no one, as we've seen him buy a lot of these utility healing aura items. I was kind of expecting the same thing from this offlane Pango, just to head into Greaves or something, but having a Maelstrom here, added damage, super handy when, you know, potentially he's the one that's going to be diving in looking for the IO and the Enchantress first.
It does look like Dark out again. Having that kind of farming item all damage item.
Dire are scanning.
Like him going for Greaves, it's not bad, but it's not that they wanna play. They're not gonna fly fights all the time. Not looking to put hours either. They can just farm up with all their tree. moment, like Yator is kind of, they don't really have any way. They don't have like Midas or anything.
Like acceleration isn't really there. They're farming with their
Dire's
raw.
structures are fortified.
They do come bottom though with a
Radiant
catapult
structures
wave.
are fortified.
Solo
Dire's
always
top
ready
tower
and waiting
is
for
under
this
attack.
kind of move though. Winter Wyvern very good at just hiding in the trees, playing from fog. Winter's Curse ready to strike, but a good creep placement there from Imposhka, scouting out potential TPs or maneuvers. And Zayats with Solo unable to make the jump onto Lifestealer. There's a good little kind of ping pong play there, you know, dragging
Radiant's
this
bottom
404
tower
side
is
down
under
to the other
attack.
side of the map, and now Yellow Submarine can keep their Viper farming top, Ember Spirit safe mid.
Merci beaucoup.
Bouncing them across the court. So Mail maybe attempting here to go on Viper. Rod of Atos and then TP away, and this time the role reversal. No stuns to cancel that, so Yellow Submarine get their core out of the dangerous spot he was in. Smoke from 404. They tried to move from bot up to mid. Yeah, they're going back down to bot, and they see the Enchantress.
Is under attack.
They jump forward with a couple of stuns and a swashbuckle, and a great amount of damage there. And Zayat's on a killing spree now.
But I probably want getting them out of the jungle.
They find the Ember. That Blink Echo. Zayats with that initiation. This is the threat, right, of this Earthshaker, which we just don't see that often anymore, is the immediate burst damage and the chain stun control that you get. You mentioned against the Lifestealer pretty good before he gets Rage, and against this Ember Spirit, it's no different.
It's very good against all throughout the game. Even though you have the Rage, it's always that get jump on might be 5 seconds.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's a lot of threat in this, but Zayak in general.
I'm not exactly sure what no one was trying to do there, like maybe looking for a solo kill on Miposhka or something. But he spends Rolling Thunder. Swashbuckles back off to his jungle in that bottom lane. Philosopher's Stone, a real handy pickup there, especially for Winter Wyvern or Earthshaker who want to keep on scaling. Yatora with so bad. They're sprinting forwards. They've got this observer wall that scouted them out for a second.
Lifestealer has a really good timing now with Deso and Armored, so right now Lifestealer feels like
Radiant's
God of
bottom
this game.
tower is under attack.
try to use this timing really well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's just like doing this kind of move without Aegis, fighting into a teamfight lineup. Knowing that Echo Slam's down and making this move onto the Winter Wyvern's pretty good though, as Solo, I mean, maybe he just tries to throw a curse out, he's looking to escape, but the gap is closed off there by the Lifestealer.
Ward is just doing... They did never fall. See that they have a lot of sentry. Tower, they gotta probably take the outpost as well,
Dire's top tower
where they
is
can
under
deny the
attack.
XP. So far they haven't taken it yet.
It looks like they've forgotten about it.
Dire's
Yeah, let's
middle
see.
tower is under attack.
It's pretty big, take it up 30 in the game. Now taking it.
Yeah. Ember's like, guys, look, outpost time. And they were also scanning and thinking about Roshan, so I think that's why their attention was drawn away from the outpost, was they were considering, hang on, if we lose, we get the Wyvern bottom lane, but the rest of them are not really showing anywhere, they
Radiant's
could
bottom
maybe have gone for that
tower is under
sneaky Roche
attack.
play. Imagine back to the other game where, DD spawned for that Spectre. In fact, Spectre has a DD bottled. Smail's given the bottle to Ramses, so haste and DD as they jump in, immediately blowing up the eye on the Enchantress. Lifestealer, they're getting chased by the Spectre. And just like that, the immediate jump and kill. Viper trying to get back up onto his high ground, but the Pango and the Spectre giving chase as DD hasted Ramses' Spectre, just relentless in the damage output he's giving, and they've also caught the Ember Spirit. Earthshaker and Pugna trying to keep the catch going, but he's going to make that TP. Successful back to Fountain.
That was some nice runes for Ramses there. get a really good fight. Lifesteal dying there, the bad for. Go for the 4. But that's still pretty good. Now, in just this really bad position,
Yes.
you have to have ways, like lack ways of starting the fight. You have this Ember who can, but that's like really like anyway, and it's Ember is not also like you can always like he's gonna go on you, you're gonna see. This might be the right. They know there's no Haunt. Oh, there's no Echo. Roshan is best option right.
There is still Winter's Curse and Rolling Thunder though, and it's a little bit spooky as they do catch Solo, starts him up, and that's the Orchid play you were mentioning, but they've got the decrap and the life drain. Solo's still thinking about this Winter's Curse, throws it onto the Lifestealer, but the rest of the Concave and the Dire players all on the right hand side as that Rolling Thunder bouncing into the Fissure off the ramp and the relocate out. Make sure the Ember survives, but they still connect in onto the Lifestealer with the decrap and the life drain, and Yotoro's gone. Great pick off there, and the buyback from Solo is going to allow him to keep on chasing forward. The relocate has put the IO in a tough spot, tethering across onto the Ember Spirit, who is invis. They don't see him, but they'll focus the IO instead as the Ember comes out of invis to try and catch Sumail's Pugna. Now slighting, fisting, jumping with a Remnant, but he's still on the low ground, stuck down there until another Remnant allows him to make the jump, but the Fissures come, and he doesn't have any more Remnants left. The charges are done. He's got an Orchid and a Sleight of Fist in a second, but Toronto Tokyo is being shredded here, and the life drain will secure him. Ramses claims the kill in the end, as 2 of the big cores of Yellow Submarine are shredded in that attempted Roshan take.
There are just so many items now, like the Lotus or the Glimmer Cape with Pagna and the Eagle Lens. So, how they're fighting this fight. Like, the Emperor has the Orchid, kinda uses it. It's a bit weird, like, okay,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
get it, and now they already have answers.
Yes.
It's looking. That Roshan was kind of their way of still like fighting back in the game. Spectre has it. It's gonna be. They have to do some miracle. The thing is that Solo buyback, so right off the. But it is.
Yeah, Solo's farming Blink Dagger now with the help of that Philosopher's Stone. And Zayat's closing in on BKB. Big items, but you know, I definitely have to agree. The way that they're, you know, kind of holding these spells and abilities and items as well. You know, waiting with a Lotus Sword for the Orchid, waiting for that moment where you can decrep and Glimmer Cape someone to get away from the initiation of Ember Spirit. Like, Solo just put Winter's Curse on the Lifestealer and said, job well done. Team, go in. Didn't really care about the rest of them. Even buying a Nullifier on the Lifestealer now to try and deal with some of these items that they've got. This is the difficulty you face, though, and we talked about it after the draft. This team fight lineup, if they're able to come out of the laning stage with any semblance of farm, just primary items like Blinks and Ether Lenses, things like that, and you have situations where Enchantress kind of forced to play in this bottom lane, shoving out
Just.
Damage.
No longer.
double damage rune Earthshaker takes it from 1/2 to 0 in one hit. Oh, the Radiant Courier gets the high ground, and the miss means Io doesn't find it. Now, so bad. Got to be very careful with this Ramses Blade Mail returning that damage onto you. And mid lane, okay, Hango just going to Rolling Thunder, force the Remnant away. Oh, but they're playing onto Spectre again. She doesn't expect all of these heroes to be so nearby so fast. Winter's Curse onto Io, and Solo going to Cold Embrace as no one arrives now with a quick little swashbuckle, but they infest into Sobat. Sumail with a decrep, jumps forward and life drains the IO, and that crash from the shield of no one secures yet another kill. The Lifestealer will TP back home safely, but collapse
Radiant
might be stuck out here.
are fortified.
Radiant are
Can't find him. He's found a nice little hole in the trees.
They wanna make a.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, it's hard for Yellow. Start a fight, and that's the problem.
Dire's structures
It's always a problem
are
when you
fortified.
kind of have to react
Dire's top tower is
Enemy
under
is the-
attack.
starting the fight. making a move. But most cases it is reaction.
Dire are scanning. Dire's top
Yeah, yet
tower
again.
is under attack.
Just trying on the Spectre. And it's also the fact that Yellow Submarine need all of their heroes alive to actually accomplish anything, right?
Yeah.
Like you need the Ember to find the Pugna, you need the Viper to deal damage and break the Spectre, you need the Io to keep the Lifestealer alive. I mean, maybe the argument can be made that Enchantress can be the one to try and start a fight by walking into the middle of the enemy, but it's it's definitely not easy, and that then relies on 404, you know, kind of being out of position to begin with anyway.
There is PK. Maybe with those items, but like just Arrow has a lot of. Probably the best timing for Yellow. Wait for those peaks. Try to fight then. Out those peaks. Find a way of farming those. Viper.
Yeah, buying time, not a mechanic in Dota 2, unfortunately. You can't just spend money to try and get yourself a bit more space. And you've got Blink Dagger coming out. Let's win to Ivan now. Already in the Dire jungle. 404 are ready to set up for the tier 2, which they're about to take. And then you've got this great position where they've got options where they can potentially think about high ground top and mid, or they can go to the kind of natural place the Radiant wants to play, sweep through the bot lane, get tier 1, tier 2, and then take this area where they can play off of the high ground Dire triangle jungle. Because ideally, it feels like 404 want to be playing into choke points, using smokes, getting these surprise initiations. That cast opinion. Courier has a Helm of Iron Will. I guess that's Lifestealer with his Nullifier arriving very shortly. At the very least, that'll allow him to stick on the Pugna for a bit longer. Maybe try and blow up Sumail, but he's been such a slippery devil. 807 Pugna. I mean, he had a spectacular previous game on Pugna where he was like 15, 4, and 17 or something as well. Always able to escape with Decrep Glimmer Blink.
Under attack.
Never really feels under too much threat. Poshka with a base ward there over on the Radiant side of the map. But here comes that move, here comes that smoke.
That's... Find that. Find that Miposhka.
Yeah, just find the Enchantress. Don't really need to expend too much to kill her, just a couple of short cooldowns. And you still have no one smoked with Solo moving forward, getting some deep wards, trying to cover this Dire triangle area. As expected, Radiant want to play down here. Wouldn't have the Fissure to stop Collapse's TP. Now, Ramsey's just going to shred him. Quick little move in from Solo, make this short work and easy pickings as... Oh, I was a little bit worried there. No one and Sumail were also looking to try and start a fight mid lane. Rolling Thunder, they're coming in.
Kind of do this. Like, what is there to stop them? Even if you have the Lotus, you have a haste on... Okay, actually they have a...
And Aegis does get reclaimed, so Spectre doesn't have the backup life. Ramsey just continues very efficiently farming, dragging wave into neutral camps to keep on going. As another D-Ward battle is brewing here. We've seen Miposhka against Seneko, we've seen Miposhka against Fata, now Miposhka against Solo in these Observer Sentry battles.
They've always on top of it quite often when
Dire's bottom tower
again having
is
some
under
nice
attack.
import. Though they're not really...
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, still keeping a couple of them up there. This one ward here is a surprising one because he had one up on the high ground that got de-warded. So they do still see a little bit into that triangle.
Dire's bottom tower.
But if
Yeah, this were there.
oh, Viper.
Collapse though.
Viper shows. Yeah, they're going on collapse. Straight in with the Rolling Thunder Fisher and the Horn. Blowing up the Viper, and he's dead for 50 seconds. They're coming in towards top lane. What's happening here? The Horn has moved over to the Io. Io and Lifestealer on the opposite side of the map, and Sumail godlike now as the Rage TP cancelled out. The Winter's Curse from Solo stops him in his tracks, and in comes the rest of 404. 5 heroes strong, slaying the Lifestealer. 3 kills in a row. 25-5 with a 14k net worth lead. It's been a one-way street since about 20 minutes in.
Just kind of like hard for you also. They're not just
Dire are scanning.
like, oh,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
they also mean sometimes
Dire's
trying to go
structures are fortified.
have any way of actually fast kill.
Bathed in searing heat.
Now, I don't feel like I've felt this Ember Spirit's impact too much this game. Orchid, BKB, Toronto Tokyo's had a fair amount of struggles. At least now he's unlikely to die unless he gets blink echoed and chain stunned.
This stands for, I think. But still, like 5-on-5 fights are really. Collapse is close. Just died 2 times.
We'll see when Roche respawns in about 10 seconds. Going to be important here for Yellow Submarine to contest that, because without an Aegis on their Lifestealer, like you're saying, I just don't see too many options for them. But you've got to expect 404 to be very well prepared for any kind of sneaky moves they make. 1 minute 20 for Roshan to respawn means they've got plenty of time to set up for anything. But as long as the Radiant keeps mid lane and top lane pushed in, like they're drawing the circle around that jungle now, saying if we just go plant ourselves here, make a base camp in the Dire jungle, push out top and mid, we've got Roshan under our control, and then there's only really one move that Yellow Submarine can make, and it's that kind of, you know, wrap around from behind.
They have to do like some kind of. They wanna ever think about how to deal with save heroes.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh man, Solo breaks the smoke and kills Miposhka. Great Winter's Curse with a Rolling Thunder. No one's in on top of the Viper. The rest of 404, they're arriving shortly. They've started up this Winter Wyvern, but it's not enough to kill her off. Now it's 3 heroes in quick succession as Sumail does fall. Toronto Tokyo does get that grab, but Yatoro and Toronto Tokyo in trouble now. They've got Zayats changed up with no one. They pop the BKB in the Lotus Orb, and Lifestealer shredded. Ember Spirit has to run the hell away, and Io, who bought back, immediately falls with Roshan respawning in 10 seconds. It doesn't even matter. GG's called.
Dominating.
Radiant victory.
Just error. I don't have much to say. I think Yellow Submarine had a good plan with the lanes.